Welcome to Watcher DM. I'm Gabriel. Today I'm doing a flip through and review of Brave Zenith, Adventure After All. This is a RPG by, I believe it's made by Roll for Tarask. Or it was written, yeah. So the game design was Giuliano Roverato, who is the same guy who did the Bacto's Terrifying Cuisine. The logo design was by Bruno Sabino. Graphic and editorial design was by Tatiana Francolino. Illustration by Silva Joao and Lucas Waroshi. Cartography by Alex Damasino. Editing by Vitor BJ Matos. There's some playtesters here. Thanks for playtesting. And project management was by Matthew Sanders and Zachary Cox. I think this was from Soul Muppet Publishing, is the ones who published this, if I remember correctly. The art is very fun. The book construction is a little interesting. It's got this characteristic to it that I'm not a huge fan of. It doesn't lay flat on the table, obviously, because it's a perfect bound type of book, I think. Is that what that is? Looks perfect bound to me. I love that they put Greeking in the... It's so good. The graphic design is super fun here. And this game is actually really fun to play. So it starts off by talking about what's going on in the game world. And this is a picture of that world. So you kind of start with, like, there's these archipelago, there's these really weird islands, there's some cities on the islands, and then a bunch of kind of stuff in between. The game itself is largely, it's an adventure game. It's just much weirder than your normal adventure game. So you start with character creation. And they do a good job here of setting up, like, this is what this is for, right? So this is the type of adventure that this game is trying to have you play, and the type of adventurer that is going to be playing in it, which means you need to be brave, ambitious, hard to kill, struggling, and in debt. That's kind of the presupposed requirements for being an adventurer in Brave Zenith. There's 3 attributes: Steel, Veils, and Heart. And you just choose a set of numbers. That's just how it works. You can distribute your attributes. You pick your origin. So there's humans, catfolk, and jellies. Really, really simple. Although I love that oozefolk, jellies are kind of like a top tier pick. And catfolk are like, yeah, who doesn't want to play a catfolk? It's awesome. They talk a little bit about these origins and provide some amazing evocative art for you to kind of get jazzed up about your character. And then you've got some vocations. So you pick a vocation or you can roll. And then the vocations come with some skills and some equipment, and then like a special. And again, some amazing art. So Mixologist, you got your thief character, your magic user, a hunter. And each of these has like a little blurb here that kind of talks about this type of class. The archipelago is full of monsters, from laser beam firing floating sea urchins to giant crabs ready to crack open your skull. And the only thing worse than monsters is a hunter with a big gun. Yeah, just absolutely riotous. This is such a wild, weird book. Dancer. It's like, you got a dance style special. It's awesome. I will say how this does magic. So the magic user, for instance, magic. Choose a school of magic, elemental, food, illusion, or plant, and name up to 2 spells of your choice that belong to it. Names are always 2 words, like bungee gum or control fire. The full rules for use and spells can be found on page 57. But, like, that does really describe how magic works in this game. You take 2 words from within your domain, you stitch them together, and you just adjudicate how that works at your table. It's pretty wild. It's very fun. Qualities are things that make your character unique. And then you've got your background, so proletariat, the law, criminals, bourgeoisie. It's a very kind of socialist revolutionary bent to some of the writing and design, and I think that's great. Can't go wrong there. There's some gear to get you started with. I think these are trinkets. And then you've got your shop. Amazing art for all the things in the shop, which is just fantastic. Really gives you that vibe. I think what they were going for with this game was kind of to put you in the mood of, like, if a tabletop role-playing game could be a 90s NES RPG that was just, you know, there's the diegetic is just kind of, well, we have to have this monster in here that shoots fireballs, so the clam shoots fireballs. You know what I mean? Like, just that kind of randomness to it. And then playing the game. The first rule, of course, is, yeah, don't worry about the rules, because of course it is. And I will say the rules in this game are pretty simple, but don't cover a lot of cases. So you're going to be doing a lot more rulings than rules in this particular world. They do a very simple 2d6 plus attribute plus skill. Should be greater than challenge rating. And you've got partial successes, failures, and successes. And so this kind of describes how this works. And then special rolls are when you roll doubles. So if you roll 2 of the same number, that's a special. Very similar to Mothership in that regard, but it's using d6s. And then sharp corners and jackpots. So odd doubles and even doubles are kind of how they differentiate those, which is really interesting. I think that's a fun way to kind of split things up. You've got your attributes here. This describes like how you would use your attribute skills or attributes to apply to things that are not skills. You don't have skills in them. And I also really love that they kind of what do they say about like game design, where it's like the game wants you to do the things that the game is designed to do. And so like them putting in heart as a high level concept is one of your core attributes. And it says doing anything that requires a loving heart. Like that's what you should use it for. And I think that really opens up the playing field for PCs to engage in the kind of emotional storytelling that I feel like is not as prevalent in tabletop role-playing game design, even if it is super common in practice. Like, I think a lot of people bring that to the table and want to have that happen. Skills. You've got your skills described here. Really clear. Pretty concise writing. I'm not going to say that it's perfect writing. I definitely found some of it to be a little whimsical and not necessarily informational. And also, I will say, as the design is super fun, some of this is just downright hard to read because of the design choices. So, bravo for choice of, really outstanding colors, bright and bold, but at the cost of some contrast and sensibility in terms of usability. But, hell, if Morkborg is the death metal, art book RPG, this is probably more on the like bubblegum art book RPG spectrum, and I think that is a dichotomy that is very needed in our hobby. Talks about stamina costs, stress, impairment, and healing. Resting, session end, healing scars. You've got cooking. So again, I think this is Bacto's Terrifying Cuisine. So Giuliano Riverato obviously has a love for food and puts it in his games, which I think is just awesome. You've got your growth, Zenith specials. So this is stuff that you accumulate as you advance. Talks about advancement a bit. And then this is like the referees section for running the game and how to prepare a session. Example session prep. which is awesome, by the way. Like, this is great, having a simple, clear, concise way to design a session prep wise, and it makes it very clear that like this isn't the type of thing where you need you don't need to write an adventure. This isn't like huge stat blocks, right? It's a couple of bullet points put together, which is great. An NPC generator, always fantastic to have. Now, I will say this NPC generator and most of the tables in this book do not actually have numbered lists, despite them being D20 tables. I wouldn't have gone with that as a design choice. You know, do you, but like, if you're going to provide tables that are very clearly able to be rolled on, my preference would be to have the numbers next to the tables so that you could roll on them. So, yeah. You got your treasures here. Weird. If you need something extra, throw in one of these. Just weird. Like, color has been drained from this place. All metal becomes electrified. And then you've got quick adventures. So, again, awesome job making something that can really quickly throw things together. So escort a blank through to a blank. And then you just roll twice on that table. Or on these two different tables, right? So escort a lost demonic baby to a culinary tournament. Recover a secret sauce recipe from a art restoration bunker. So yeah, really, really fun stuff. Your islands, it's got a kind of an island generator, so that's really nice to have. Traveling around the archipelago, mist weather. So there is like this notion of mist in the game world that is kind of like the nothing from the Neverending Story. So you should check that out. This is the bestiary. Again, back to the amazing art, super fun colors, mermaids, observers. I love how the mermaids are like the Zora from Zelda. They just absolutely are that kind of wild, little four-armed. Ugh, I love them. They're great. Yeah, look at the boar here. Ugh. It's like a video game manual. It's like a really weird video game manual. And I just love it. The queue, you got your blue coral crab. Butter construct, porcini goblins. You will find the porcini goblins in the Bacto's Terrifying Cuisine. They are one of the creatures in that adventure. So you can see there's some, the cinnamon skeletons are from that as well. So there's some overlap here in the creation. Like, they've kind of put together things, which is just great. And then they provide in the back Xandor's Mansion, which is, I think it's cleaning. You're supposed to clean this guy's mansion. And this was probably the first time when I was like, oh, I get it. So this game is for playing adventures that you would not normally consider adventures. Like, cleaning a guy's mansion is not an adventure, but quoting Rick and Morty, an adventure is something you can do so wrong you might die. And that definitely qualifies. So it's like, do anything that wouldn't normally be an adventure, turn it into adventure, and go nuts. And honestly, the writing for this was really good. I ran this, and it was a lot of fun. It's been a while since I ran it, so I'm a bit late coming to this. But you've got your character sheet here in the back, your nice Brave Zenith art icon in the back, and yeah, Brave Zenith. If you are looking for a fun reprieve from your standard elf game fantasy, you might do well to pick this up. It's a fun book just to have on the shelf if you ever just want to look at something that isn't grimdark. This'll do you. So yeah, my advice is definitely pick it up. And hey, if you like these videos, you should go check out our other videos in the Flip Through and Review series. Give us a like and a subscribe. Also, if you want to support us, you can go to watcherdm.com or go to our Patreon, where you can pick up any of our adventures or game products. Of course, all the information for this adventure or this game will be down in the description below. And yeah, I hope you enjoy Brave Zenith. Thanks for playing.